Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. And it was a wonderful day today. It was fully green when we started pre-market, and now it's a little bit red. So we will go through, see what it's going to do tomorrow, of course, and find out what's going to be popping and what's going on. So here we go, and all information presented here is for I can't even talk. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And here we go. Let's rock and roll. See what's going on. And here we are. Look at this bad boy. That's the heat map. And again, it was totally green when we started this morning at 7 a.m. And then it obviously pulled back there and came down. So we will take a look at our SPY. It's down, and I think it is pulling back. And I mean, it was exactly what we were talking about. It didn't look bad. It popped up, and then obviously it's going to come down. And I think Trump just signed like 104% tariff with China or something right before we got on. So that'll be crazy, and I expect it to come down. It does look like it wants to more, and that's perfectly fine. We'll find them bottoms when they're ready. It'll be a little choppy, and we're completely ready for it, and we know which way it's rocking and rolling each day. So we'll find out the fresh poppers, know what's going on. So here we go, and this one's going to be a fresh popper. It already is in the after hours right here. Look at this. DXF. It's a China one. It could even be Hong Kong. I don't know, but look at that thing curling up right there. This thing's beauty right here, guys. DXF. Look at this guy. And 628 up to 959, and now it's at 840 after it closed. And yeah, this thing's probably going to be a beast tomorrow. So keep an eye on that thing. But it was already running up right there in the after hours, looking good. And I have to say, Stock Authority and what is it, Professor D, I think he goes by. Yeah, Professor D, man, that's what it is. They both hit me up today and were like, yeah, check this thing out, and it did look great. So props to them guys, and that's why I did post that and tag them too. So there you go. And a lot of us do talk, and yeah, I love when people send me over any kind of stock chart or ticker, and I look at it. I'm like, let me check that bad boy out, see what it looks like. And this one you could see was rolling up right there. So it did close at like 642 and started rolling in the after hours, and it looks like it's going to keep rolling in the morning. Keep an eye on that in the morning, guys. And here we go, stocking up for future blue collar Teamster. How are you guys? Laptop Travel, everyone else, Luis Rodriguez, and the entire rest of you guys. And like I said, I wish I knew exactly everybody that was hanging out each night. It does get up there in the numbers, and I greatly appreciate everybody, and I just don't know unless you guys comment. So it's all good, though. Like I said, I appreciate everybody and everyone's feedback and comment and everything, sending over stock tickers. So let's rock and roll. But DXF, keep an eye on it in the morning, because that thing looks like it's going to be crazy. And SPY warning, China 104% tariffs going into effect at 12:01 a.m. White House confirms new stock market lows potentially tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, I got some of the VIX. I have it running up and down perfectly, I think, and we're going to see a dip down tomorrow, and then I wouldn't even be surprised if tomorrow's like that really big dipping day. So we'll be watching it to short things down, and then obviously ride the ETFs the opposite way and all them, and we'll go through all that tonight. So let's roll. So there you go for a popper in the after hours, and that is DXF. And let's see what Logic Mark is doing right here, and then we'll look at that SUNE. I knew that took a big dip, but we'll look at it. And this one took a nice little dip down. Almost looks like that's the bottom right there, guys. So I would definitely be watching it, and I definitely loaded up my position today. So if it wants to rock and roll tomorrow, I'm really cool with it. And if it doesn't, we'll have to reevaluate it, and I'll take like a $2 loss. It's not even anything crazy, honestly, because it's just so cheap. And like I said, we were under a penny this entire time, so it wouldn't be a big deal. And that's the way you got to play them. But I think it might get rolling right there, and that's why I did up my position on that one, Logic Mark. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, I'll be watching that in the morning, guys, so you don't even have to ask. We can just take a look at it in the morning. And that SUNE did pull back a little bit more today, and it is trying to roll off. Let's see. I was looking at it today. Yeah, maybe it is going to try to roll off. You couldn't really tell, and you still can't exactly tell. Look at it. I mean, it's coming down right there. Generally, they do like to, but again, tomorrow could be a really, really red one. So we'll have to take a look. I mean, some of them are going to pop, and that DXF looking really good. Logic Mark looking pretty good to where it's at, and some other ones. But we'll take a look and see what that SUNE will be up to. And how about this one? This was on the list last night. Courteous of Laptop Travel threw this one in there, and this one was rocking and rolling well over 100%. It went 247 to 441. I think it even went higher than that. Did it not? 441. I'm wrong, but that's where it went. 204 to 441. And where did it say it opened at 240? It opened lower, so 204 to 441. I know it went over 100% there, and it is at 274 right now. And we'll take a look. Look at it. It's trying to get squeezed up there a little higher, so we'll take a look at that tomorrow. But that was a definite one on the list last night, marked up, looking good, and now it'll be more of a momentum play. Can it get into the top right here? Is it going to hit that top and come down? It's hard to tell. I think it might just spike up. If it does, it'll be early in the morning, then pull back into that channel to get set up. So that's what you're looking at. And this one was definitely on the list too. This Twin V Power Cats recreational vehicles, and it just recently split. I know we were looking at it, and it split today and ran up. So there you go. I know we were just looking at this thing, and it did pop up there on the split, 251 to 430, it says. And let me type in all three E's, VEEE, and that one did run 251 to 420. And you know what it did there. It just stopped, took a bong hit, and then came right back down to 350 where it's chilling. So that's what that thing did. It was playing on its recreational vehicles, hanging out, having a good old time today. So that's what that did right there. That says it got up to 430. The other one said 420 right there. That's interesting. And usually this is more accurate. Are they going to try to pull off being more accurate now? Although, again, it stopped it at 338, and it's still running around in the after hours, and I shot them over a quick email, but they'll get that fixed. Like I said, we'll have faith in that, and that's VEEE. So I'm telling you, when both of these are, when it's all running perfect, the pre-market, they got fixed. But the after hours, not so much, but they will get it fixed on there, and it'll be perfect. So VEEE, big runner today. And how about IXHL? This is one that I always think is a China one, but it's not. It's an Australian healthcare company, and this one popped today big time. So this one just got rocking right out of the bottom. So we have to look for these things now, because look at them. They're just like cruising off that look. And we'll definitely keep an eye. 50 to 138, and it's at 62 right now. So we'll see if it can run any more tomorrow, but it did run right through that 50 and got cruising up there. IXHL. And again, it does look like it's trying to set up here, but nothing's a guarantee in this market. So who the heck knows what that thing? I have no idea. I guess they had some news the other day, it looks like, but anyway, we don't really care. And that's IXHL, and this GLXG was on our list last night, Galaxy Payroll, and this thing jumped up there, and you guys have brought this to our attention. So again, this show is just a complete team effort right here, and we just go through everything. So if you just listen to the show, it's just not, I just go through all the stock tickers, and we picked this out. It had momentum, 156 to 281. It's back to 81 cents. So again, if you get in these, you got to get in and out. You have to actually trade them, and but we do. We go through them all right there, and that one could be pulling back, but that was a nice run up right there. Hard to tell with that run up. I think it could be pulling back a little bit. Maybe it'll get set back up, but there's a bunch of them that were really good. This BDRX did pull back kind of towards the end of the day, I think. This one was trying to get set up. It had that weird look, and even over here, and that's why I was taking a look at it today. If it wanted to move, look at it. It was trying to push through, and if it could get through, I think it would get running. It has some good space, but we'll have to look at it tomorrow. It'll have to get moving, or it's going to have to bounce off that bottom and really come back up. So we'll have to take a look at BDRX, and maybe it will not get running again. It ran the other day, but it wasn't a really big pop, and I thought it was going to pop a little more. We'll see if it does. If not, no big deal there. And that DMN, we've been kind of tracking this thing, and it bounced down today. It did take a nice little dip right there. Look at it. It's and again, maybe when it's just above 1 penny right there, 1 cent, maybe that's where they're a good spot, because like I said, Logic Mark could be a decent one too, and this one could try to get curled up. We'll look at DMN in the morning as well, and maybe a lot of them, you really, like I was saying before, try to catch them obviously in that penny range, but maybe they really come all the way down. Even that 0.018 area isn't low enough. You got to wait until they're like at 0.012s and ones down there, 0.011s, and then maybe that's the bottoms where they could really get cruising. So we'll keep an eye on that and see too, because if that's something that we're looking at, you kind of know exactly where the bottoms are, and that's big run-ups. You don't have to worry about getting caught in them too early. You could just be patient, wait for them, and I have been. And like I said, Logic Mark, you just thought it was going to roll, and again, pull back. We're still under a penny. We're no big deal, and we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow, and we'll see what this wants to do as well. And even APDN pulled back a little bit. Let's see, where was it? 113. It was up early this morning with everything else, obviously 124 to 162, and then it closed at 116. So it did pull back a little bit down there, and it looks like it's either going to make a base. I mean, look at that thing. It is trying to curl up big time right there. Let me see. I mean, it's trying to. I'll look at it tomorrow. We'll see. It's either going to start really trying to curl up, or it's going to make a little base, and then we'll have to see what's going on with it. So that's APDN, and we'll look at it. And then I hit. That one actually was down, I think, today. Yeah, it definitely took a hit at some point. I didn't even know it closed up. HIT, let's see, because I was going to say this one might be hit, and we might have to take it off, but it did have that dip and rip little look, and look at it, crossed up right there. 59 to 60. It's at 56. It's at 56 right there. Actually, we may have to look how close that 20's getting, guys. We may have to keep an eye on this hit right here. So HIT, we may have to keep a real close look at. MRM wasn't bad today. That was cruising up a little bit, and remember we were talking about it rolling back up, and it could possibly go up tomorrow some more MRM, and this was a good one. We were way down here, and that rolled up the other day, and obviously it's back in that channel. And yeah, it's not looking bad in the after hours, guys. And it could get up to the 50, which is 69-cent area, or maybe even run through it again. So keep an eye on this MRM. That one's not looking too bad right there. And how about Bond? I believe it pulled back some more a little bit, and maybe we're watching this one to pull back a little more. It did cross through, and I've just been watching it. It almost looked like the other days at bottom. So let's really keep an eye on this one. It is a China company, and these small China ones could get ripping. We always say that, and then they start popping off there. So yeah, it had that look, and again, that looked like it was its bottom. So we're definitely keeping an eye on this BON, and that one's been on the it's been on the scanner, like trending too and everywhere. So it's just pulling back, and we're being super patient. Again, you don't want to jump in them too soon, and then they pull back real big on you. That's why we're waiting and seeing if it wants to come down, and if it's ready, we'll kind of notice. Newton Golf jumped up a little bit early this morning. I guess it wasn't as high as yesterday. Let's see. 3 to 340 yesterday, got up to 350, and it's at 248 right now. So that one could be pulling back right there. So if you're in Newton Golf, be careful. But that was in a great spot, great jump up for us, and that had a good tee off right there. And Clue right here had pulled back a little bit today, but honestly wasn't. That one could be a little bottom. Look, I mean, it's been pulling back. It just kind of rolled there, but look at that curl up it had, and it was looking like it wanted to curl up. So we're gonna have to keep an eye. Look at this thing, it's getting really close there. So another China small cap, and this one did reverse split not long ago and never really ran. Where was it at? I forget where it was. I don't see. There it is back here in March 3rd. So the beginning of March, and it never really ran. And these things do like to run, especially after them reverse splits and these China ones. So we're keeping an eye on Clue for sure right there. It didn't look too bad. Look at it. It's trying to get set up as it's curling around. And this chart, it doesn't look real bad either. So I will keep an eye on that. Let's see what it wants to do the next few days. And this one's just crazy, guys. UOKA. It pulled back yesterday and then jumped right back up today. And it looks like it wants to cross through and go wild. I'm telling you, you could trade this one almost every day. It's pretty crazy. And who knew it was going to pull back like that yesterday? It came down to 13, and all of a sudden today it runs all the way up. It opens at 15 and runs up to almost 18, closes at 17, and it looks like it wants to pop. So keep an eye on this UOKA tomorrow, because it could get cruising. I mean, it's literally jumped right through it, no problem before, and it looks like it wants to now. So I think that's one we have to keep an eye on still. UOKA right there, and that LRHC wasn't looking bad today, to be honest with you. It's still trying to curl up. Now again, this chart changed around. It was looking really good right about here. The whole chart, it was coming down where we exactly love it, and then all of a sudden it changed. It's not terrible. It pulled back. That could be that bottom right there, and you could get a nice roll off coming off of here on LRHC. So we'll keep an eye on it. Look at it trying to roll off that MACD or 20s up here at like 20-cent area. If it can get into that channel, then it could get cruising. So it did run up before once, not too much. Excuse me, not too much, but it does look like it's trying to roll up better now. So LRHC, one to keep an eye on as well, setting up, I would say. And HEPA, this one, oh, let me type it in right, HEPA. And this one was just kind of dancing around today, and that's about all it did. And it does look like it's trying to make a bottom on it. 43 to 46, it's at 41. Like I said, it wasn't doing anything crazy, but I don't know what these candles are called, but I always like when they do this, when they like close down and then close up like that. I don't know. It definitely has a name. I have no idea what the name would be. I really honestly don't have a clue. But yeah, I always like that. And then it recently split. It did run up after the split. We'll keep an eye on HEPA. It's been in the basement for a pretty good time, and it ran like that and tried to get out before the split, and then it split and been down here. So just keep an eye on this. I'll watch it. We've had it on the list, and it's probably a good one to keep on there for the next few days there, as it looks like it might be setting up. And this one ran up, AUUD, which was on the list, but I think it ran up even more in the after hours, and that's what it says right there. So let's see. 387 to 512, and it's at 417. So what did it say? Is that 417? That's what it said. At least that's accurate now. Before it wasn't even that accurate, but now it is tracking the actual price all the way to 8 p.m. It's just not showing it on the candles. So they'll get that fixed. But that price has been really accurate lately, and before they were always off and like crazy. So clearly it must be the accurate pricing, so that's a good thing to see. And yeah, this thing doesn't look bad. Still ran up, and it could have a lot of runarounds as it's up there. But yeah, it could be set. Looks like it could be trying to set up into this channel as well, AUUD. So obviously we'll keep an eye on it. We'll look at it tomorrow and see exactly what it wants to do. Look at it, it's riding right there. It could go either way. So I don't want to tell you yes, it's about to pop, or no, it's not, because it's sitting right there and could go either way. We'll look at it in the morning and see if we get a better idea. OCGN could be pulling back after today, guys. I was looking at this thing, and it did come down 6 cents. I mean, it was looking really good. We'll look at it tomorrow, but it did cross down, and let's see if it's still in a spot where it could pull itself up. It is. So, and it wanted to go up. I think today it could be that pullback look, guys. So we'll look at this thing But it did have a really nice pullback. I saw that thing today, and I was like, "Whoa, that took a nice pullback," and it did cross down. But again, could be in the spot where it likes to pull itself up, and we'll only know tomorrow. But it does almost look like if it doesn't, it will pull all the way back down, like into here in that 52 area again, and have to get set up. It probably wouldn't be good for it. We wanted it to get cruising right here. So talk about make or break it, and then look at the timing on it. I mean, isn't that amazing, guys? That's what I'm always fascinated by, these things. Just the way they set up like that, and the timing of things, and how things happen the way they happen. It's just crazy. And clearly, we all know what happened with the aerospace and defense setup and the first Trump assassination attempt, and that was pretty clear cut right there. And so we don't have to go into it, but that's always fascinating to me. And just right there alone, that's kind of fascinating. Just the way they line up like that, perfect timing. Just to have to know. I think we looked at your SUNE a little bit ago, I believe. Yeah, we did, blue collar. But we'll look at it again. For those that are tuning in right now, welcome aboard to the pre-market show. Here you go, to the live show. I'm already in tomorrow morning. I think I'm ready for tomorrow morning, guys. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, it's going to be so awesome. I love this market. Any of you that's just tuning in and new, we love every market condition because we just cruise through it all. It doesn't matter what it's doing. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. So yeah, I'm already on pre-market in my mind, I think. But anyway, it's the live show at nighttime, and we're gonna find what's popping. But we did look at SUNE, and it was pulling back today. It might just have to run down in that basement for a hair. And we'll have to look at it too. Look at it trying to roll off there, but I don't know. Can it really get cruising off of that tomorrow? It's a hard one to tell with that big pullback. Generally, and I'll just tell you, generally when they do that kind of fish hook, it takes them a few days, especially when they get into the basement. They either want to get popped right out, and it's not like 100% definite, but they either get popped right up immediately. We look for that bounce sometimes, and we catch it. They haven't really been bouncing, though. With these dips, they're not really exactly bouncing the next day, so you're not even seeing that look. I think we've seen like one look the other day, and it definitely didn't bounce back up, so I forget what it was. It was just some off stock, but I just remember saying that has that look. It could. Just take a look at it in the morning. I remember looking at it in the morning, and it pulled back, so they're definitely not bouncing. And generally, when they get down here, they got to run a little bit to just get that set up and steam to come out. Again, anything can happen off a roll off right there, and this thing is way down there, so you have a couple things going on. So we're definitely going to look at SUNE, that Sun Nation. We were looking at it, and maybe it does want to come down a little bit more under that penny as well, just where we were talking about a little bit ago, and maybe they all want to come down there before they really run. So we will track these guys for sure, especially when they start pulling back like this into the basement and getting into these prices. Because again, if we find that they want to get all the way down to under a penny, and then really get close to that like 0.01, one something area, holy cow, you can just load the boat right there if we know that's a pattern. So something I can't tell you is definitely happening, but we're going to stake it out and see what's going on here, because I think it looks like some of them are trying to do that. And I believe Antonio Costa, he was alluding to that in a question he had posted earlier, and I was kind of talking about it with Stock Authority earlier about like the reverse splits and everything else. I think he was talking about STSS the other day, and it caught him, and it was looking good again right here. Look at that thing looking really good with that 20, and then boom, now you're all the way down at that 0.0169. It's another one that we can keep an eye on. I meant to add it because I was looking at it today, and now look at it trying to curl up right there. So it's one to keep on the list right there. I meant to add that thing. That's Sharps Technology, and then look at that pricing right there. there. Look where this thing just came all the way from, guys. It was at like 30 something cents not long ago on March 18th, like the day after St. Patty's Day. March 20th, it's still in the 30s. Up here on March 28th, it's in the 15s, and then it came down to the 3-cent area, and now you're in the penny area, guys. So you're talking some major pullback, and most of them are doing it. That's why we were watching Logic Mark, Logic Mark, LGMK, and a couple other ones that we were talking about earlier that are getting down. DMN, I was trying to think of it. I think that's the other one we were talking about. DMN was getting way down there. Yup, that was it. And look at that thing running in the basement. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, guys, because that could be an amazing thing to know. And if we know that, oh my, these penny stocks will get a lot of fun. I mean, you just got to wait. You know that they're pulling back. And honestly, look at that 20 pulling back. And they could be really fast bounces, but they will be really nice bounces that day as well, especially if you're catching them all the way down here. I mean, look at that thing. Even if it bounced up to there and you got up to like 17, 15, anything from 1 cent area, 1.5, and you're running it anywhere's up, you're in like really good shape because you can load the boat for relatively cheap at these prices, and like real cheap prices. And yeah, if it starts moving, guys, you're in great shape. So keep an eye on that, and I certainly will, and keep us updated to see if we do like anything like that, or if we see that pattern starting to happen, because that would be impressive right there. And again, you could start buying it, like just scouting a little right here just to make sure. And if it pulls back, boom, 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 and then all of a sudden you got a huge amount of them, and you got it really, really cheap for a quick pop, and then bam, you could get loaded, get it fired up there, get out of it, and go to load up on the next one. So that is something we're going to be looking at with these penny stocks as everything is getting all crazy, because they are doing it. I mean, look at how these things are pulling back into these price ranges, into them pennies. So that is that. And again, that was a question earlier, and I actually posted a response about it, and was basically saying, you know, all these companies down here, they screw every investor. We've talked about it before, and most of these penny stocks, that's why we're very careful of them. But as soon as you get one quick little pop, they're so fast to have an offering or a reverse split. Look, here's an bridge financing, and I mean, it's just nonstop. Like just here's a public offering right here, January. And so yeah, it's just all the time, and it just dilutes the shares. They don't care, and clearly the company's not doing anything really great, or they would have some money, but yeah, it just dilutes it. And then you get down into this price range, and basically the company's like really in dire needs, because now they're about to get delisted. They have to come up or either reverse split it, and they know they ain't going to last over $1, because you got to keep compliance and stay over $1. They're only going to reverse split it, stay up there, and probably get shorted right back down or come back down. And so yeah, they're in some dire need. So it sometimes does get that real quick pump real quick, and that's what we're looking for, especially at these prices. And then they get pumped up, and again, you get out of it, and then there you go for that offering or that reverse split, and then they just repeat, rinse and repeat. But if we can catch them all down here, it would be a beauty. So that's what we're looking at and talking about right there. And anyone tuning in, greatly appreciate it. And here we go. We're just cruising through our list that I post out each night, and it is just a list compiled from what you guys want to look at, and obviously some other ones that have been on the list. So yeah, just follow along. And I'll remember to post it out tonight. I had it on the Stock Cube. I posted it out this morning. I was watching that game last night. That was a wild NCAA championship game last night. And then I just passed out after that. So that was that. But anyway, let's cruise through here. And that went off a little off course a little bit. And we were looking at OCGN. And then we jumped into SUNE. We had already looked at it. And I started talking about this one. And Icon, this one just reverse split. the other day, and it's looking pretty good. And this one's obviously up over $2. Well, not obviously, but it is up over $2 because it reverse split. But look at it trying to cruise there. So we do love after they reverse split, and it is moving. It looks like in the after hours it was running up there to 273. It closed at 240. And this one only has it at 225 right there. So I'm not sure, but it did run up. I know it did. And it is looking pretty good. So I would keep an eye on good old Icon right there. That's for sure. And let's see what else is going on. I see a bunch of messages right there. So, yeah, just let me know. If you guys want to see anything, post them in there, and I'll take a look at them. You guys know that. We'll cruise through the rest of these. And WCT is not looking bad, guys. It did pull back today. I know that. And just look where it's sitting, though. It's just like has that look like it could bounce off of here. And it's sitting wrapped up in the 20. So I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. Look at it right there. So, yeah, it's not looking too bad. 34 up, and then it came down to 21, but it closed at 27. So we'll look at it tomorrow. It was running up right there. It wasn't bad either. And you know, some of these have that little healthy pullback some days and then get bouncing up pretty big. So that WCT, we'll look at it tomorrow just to take a look and see if it does want to do that. And if it does, it could be a beauty. And this VSTE, that Vast Renewables, was trying to run up there. Let me see what it's doing right here. VSTE. It was running up yesterday, it looks like, and today it ran up a little, 36 to 38, but it pulled back to that 35. I mean, it's just a little pullback look, nothing real crazy, and it is hanging around the 20 trying to get on there. So keep an eye on it because, you know, once they get into that channel, they usually have a pretty quick run up. And they can either run up fast and touch that 50 or just kind of run up, and we know, you know, they're going to bounce around right there. So that's what we're looking at for that Vast Renewables right there, VSTE. And is this that Janover? This actually pulled back a little bit today. And it wasn't even that crazy. And I say that because look at it. It's still in the top up there. And I was looking at it today, and it was just hopping around 39.50 to 42.30. It came, oh, I didn't even notice it came way down there. It must have pulled back then in the after hours. I didn't even notice that. Holy cow. That doesn't even, I'm telling you, it was just bouncing around. It wasn't even that bad today. And like I said, it was up here most of the day, and now it's down there. So not sure what happened because it definitely went down to 23. It says there, and it's at 29.99, so it's just under 30. And we'll take a look at this Janover. It was just kind of pulling back. And another one, again, had that weird look right there. Nothing crazy, but it was still in the top, and that's what grabbed my attention because we know they could stay in there and run another time. So I'll watch it tomorrow and just see. But, yeah, it does look like it might have pulled back a little more in the after hours there. CXAI. This one had run up the other day, pulling back, it looks like right here. Let me take a better look at it. Yeah, let it pull back, and then it can roll off that MACD. It was ran up 116 to 123, and then closed at 189 down there. So it's still in the channel, but I think it might have a little more pullback or jump around right there. So nothing too crazy with that one. BTOG was moving today, guys, and this one's actually was looking pretty good earlier. It did hit that 20 right there, and it's trying to hit that line. Let me look. It was, like I said, it ran up. Look at it, 12 to 32, and it's back at 13. So it was running up today. I know it did. I don't remember what it was up to when I looked at it, but that was a big run up. So we'll have to look at it. It might not cross through with that look, and you can see it's trying to hit the MACDs, and I'm not so sure, but it did have a nice bounce. I know Laptop Travel liked it the other day. And again, look how fast they run up and pull back there. So you got to be on point with it. And this CYCU we've looked at before had that big dip and then tried to bounce up once or twice. And today it was kind of bouncing up right there. Take a look at it. It was up, what, 5 cents? I think it was up a little bit more. 44 to 78, and it's back to 47, but it might be a decent one to look at tomorrow just to see if it's still trying to get set up. And again, had that run up look and pull back, so we have to look at it. It just grabbed my attention. I did notice it was up today, and I knew it was one that we've looked at recently, not that recent, but before when it was running up probably back here somewhere. It had some run up. I forget exactly. Probably in here. And we haven't looked at it in a couple weeks. But there you go at CYCU. They all come back around. They run up, pull back, and come back to run up again. We all know that. And FMTO, look at this bad boy running up. It's a software application company in Israel. And this thing's just blasting off. It's over 400% right there today. FMTO. Femto wasn't this thing was on our list not long ago, guys. And there you go at that. I know it was, and it was definitely on a laptop travel list right here. 55 to 682. Holy cow! It's at 394 right there. And good old FEM or FMTO. I was spelling the whole company. Femto is spelled FEMTO, but FMTO right there. Femto Technologies. That one blasted off for us. And like I said, I know Laptop Travel had that on his list, and we have recently gone over it. And Lucid, right, this one, but it's a different Lucid. We looked at it before. Lucid Diagnostics. This thing was running up actually, and not looking bad. We'll have to see if it can get up into that over that MACD. And let's take a look. LUCD, look at it. It has that run up look. It looks like it wants to stay up there. You could get some pullback into that 140 area and even into this channel as it bounces down. I have a feeling you might get some bounce down right there on LUCD, that Lucid. And LCID, let's see what this is doing. LCID, that's the other Lucid right here. And this one was bouncing up the other day, and it's still bounced up. I think even higher today is what it looks like. LCID, and yeah, it did bounce up a little higher, and it looks like it could just be bouncing around this channel but pulling back to the MACD. So just watch if it pulls back a little bit to get set back up. But it did run up again today. We were looking at that Lucid right there, not the other one, not the LUCD. We were looking at this LCID. And AGH, I know this one's kind of popular. Oh wow, this we were looking at this bad boy not long ago. I remember this was a brand new one. We had watched it run up a little bit, and here you go. It's looking a little better right there, I would say, huh? Running up AGH. And yeah, 55 to 136. It's at 82, guys. Keep an eye on that in the morning. That could keep its momentum right there. AGH. And that was another one we had definitely looked at not long ago. So I guess we got to keep some of these on our list a little longer. Some of these are just running like crazy. And yeah, I would say that's pretty wild right there. AGH. And let's take a look at UCAR. It's not my car, it's your car, UCAR right there. And let's see. Oh, man, that thing looks like it wants to drive off. Holy cow, it was up 10 cents. The after hours, I guess, might not be good, but I can't tell because it doesn't track it. Look, thing looks beautiful at 275, but when you tell me it's at 250, I might have to reconsider down here like that. So there you go. You can tell that the candles aren't exactly working, but you can see it's at 251, and yeah, it is pulling back. So it ran up really well yesterday at some point. Let me see. I bet that was in the after hours too, and that's why you can't tell. So you got your run up because that ran all the way up to 336. And this one does not have that 336. It only has it at. So the next day, you have no idea that it's spiked up, and then it's not going to really go up. So now it's actually going to pull back. And that's what I mean. It has to have these candles running too, and they will get it fixed. But UCAR, good example. And I can kind of just shoot it over to them as an example. I can remember UCAR right there to remember that's the example. So just so that they just completely see it. But yeah, that's what's going on right there. And then you can obviously see yesterday it ran up there, and then today it's pulling back. So there you go at UCAR, but we'll take a look at it. But that just shows us that it's not exactly running perfectly just yet in the after hours, but it will. And let's see the Lion right here, good old Lion Group, and it was running up the other day. And look at this thing trying to hit that MACD. And guys, I think that pattern is in full effect. What do you guys think? Look at this thing. It was, wow, if this thing crosses through, I'll be impressed, because look at it. It looked like right here it's not. And but right there it's trying to, but it's in that spot where it could easily pull itself down too. So we'll look at it. They're easier to pull themselves down than pull themselves up. I know that. 320 to 349. It got down to 284, and it closed at 311, which isn't too bad right there. We'd have to look at the line in the morning, but it has to get over that 327 area, and it's at 311. And it does say, like I said, it's pretty accurate now over there, so that's good. But yeah, we have to get up over this area and really get booming. And yesterday it did, and it tried, but it didn't and got knocked down. So I would assume it's not going to cross through. That's what it looks like to me. I'm just telling you what that looks like, the lion, but it will get set up, and we already know they could bounce off a couple times, especially with the tariff talk now and all that nonsense. So anyway, that's what the good old lion looks like, LGHL and SYTA. Let's look at this bad boy right here. And this thing is trying to curl up, actually. This one's not looking bad. Look, it was up today, SYTA. And let's see. Yeah, that looked like it could have been its bottom, and it's rolling off, and it possibly could get up to the 209. I'm not saying it's going to run up all the way to 314 right there. We kind of know once they roll off, they like to hit lines, and you have to pay attention to see if it can get through. But pay attention, because it looks like it can roll off and obviously get up to that 20 right there for SYTA. And Tan Tech right here. This is a China small capper, and let's see, it does look like it's trying to base out. Looks like its bottom was there yesterday and does appear to be trying to curl up right there. So TANH. Let me get rid of that extra T and there, that extra T. 163 to 166, and it's at 165. And yeah, it's not looking bad. Look at it trying to curl up right here. So I'll keep an eye on TANH right there and see what they want to do. And all these China small caps, you always got to keep an eye on these things, especially when things are a little choppy and crazy like this. They can just blast off and run like maniacs. And we all know there's plenty of them that do it and have done it. And we've kept an eye on a few of them that do it. So we will keep an eye on some of them. PSQH, let's look at this PSQ Holdings. It's in the basement down here. And yesterday could have been, and again, yesterday looks like they're bottoms. And that's why I'm just saying it looks like the bottom. But I think tomorrow we're going to have some more pullback on these. So it looked like the bottom, and then we're going to see them still pulling back. So ones that are trying to cross up or hit that MACD, you're probably going to get that pullback look. So that's what you're looking at, and it's perfectly fine. Leave them down here. Let them pull back as far as they have to, guys. Like we say, let them just dip as hard as you want, because as they bottom out and we ride them up, they're just going to be amazing returns. And yeah, we'll go through some ETFs for tomorrow as well. But that PSQH, I don't think it's exactly going to roll just yet. And what does that say? Is that an ISPC? It is, iSpecimen. And this thing, look at it. It looked pretty good yesterday. I do remember looking at this iSpecimen ISPC, and it didn't get up as high as yesterday. It got up to 139, looked pretty good, and today 135, and it'll probably try to pull back right there is what it looks like. So we'll have to see if it will bounce back off that MACD when it comes back down, and that's what it looks like. And MYNZ right here. Maine's boomed Biomed. I was gonna say what? Maine's Biomed. I think I was thinking of that company Blooms, but isn't that like BLMZ or something? Yeah, look, how crazy is that guy? How do I know Blooms is a 17-cent stock and just can say that and pull it right out? And I can't remember anything. I'm telling you, I am in the matrix with stock charts. It's insane. It is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Look at this thing. And again, this thing kind of looks like it might trick you up, and looks like that tried to bottom out, but will probably come back down. But that's the one I was thinking of, not this one. But anyway, I don't know why I was thinking of that one, but this is Maine's Biomed right here. And this one's at $3, not even close to that other one. And this one's just doing the old pattern right there. So I don't know if that's going to get cruising just yet. MYNZ MYNZ. And it did have some run up to that 20 at 389. Looks like it gapped up there, yeah, at 318. So it opened at 389. It gapped up and came down. Expect it to pull back, I would say. And that's MYNZ right there. And WGLS, hold on. This is our good old buddy, Wang and Lee. Look at it. I came right up. Good old. There's nothing else that could even come up as soon as you go WLG. It's just the only one that knows is Wang and Lee right there, our good old pals. But I'll tell you what, look where that's from. And remember, we were looking at this thing down here and saying Wang and Lee will have it going on. Wang and Lee look like they got it going on, guys. So keep an eye on good old Wang and Lee. I know we were talking about this one before. Look at that thing right there. And it is looking good. So I would say WLGS, keep it on your list for tomorrow because it's looking pretty nice to try to get set up. And we do love these Hong Kong ones right now. Well, the market loves them for sure. And we love anything that the market wants to send parabolic all the time. And Icon, we popped this back on the list. I know we already looked at it. It looked good the first time we looked at it. It recently split, and what do you know, guys, a couple minutes later it still looks pretty good. So Icon, look at it curling up, and I'd say it still looks good. I just happened to write it down twice and I didn't see it right there. And anyway, GTI, remember this thing that I was making jokes because of Volkswagen GTIs. This thing looks really nice right now, guys. Keep an eye on that bad boy. Look at that curling up. I didn't even realize it spiked up from 7 to 14. I just knew it looked good. I was just scrolling through earlier and just kind of caught my eye and was like, oh, the GTI looks good. And yeah, it went 7 to 14 and a half. It's at 9, over 9 and a half. And it doesn't look bad, guys. I would keep an eye on the good old GTI for a little momentum play right there. And there you go with them, guys. And let's take a look and see what you guys want to see real quick. And then we'll go through a couple ETS, the laptop travel list. Actually, I'll just go through these ETFs, the laptop travel list. I'll come over, see what you guys want to see, and then we'll do our SPY and big cap and everything else. And crypto's getting hammered, guys. Bitcoin's at 75,000. Solana's at 103. Ethereum's at 1,416 right there. 14, 18. Chainlink's all the way at $10. Pretty crazy. Ripple's at 175. Cardano's at 54 cents. So I don't know if we really even need to go through anything else with that. And although the ETF wasn't doing bad, it obviously pulled back. I mean, you have prices like that in crypto, you're going to see it all pull back. But it was still hanging out at like 5 million market cap, I believe. And let's see, it's at 4.9 right now, so you know I'll have to load up a little more. Maybe I'll end up with another million right there. So, yeah, I like it anytime it kind of pulls back. I'm not going to lie, so I'll take a look at it. And, you know, as crypto's pulling back like this, I mean, you know it's going to be a good opportunity. So there you go. You just got to look for all the opportunities and find the ones that you really like the best and load up on them, I'd say, or just, you know, trade them smart, do well with it. But anyway, let's rock and roll. SQQQ right here. That's your Pro Shares Ultra Pro short 3 times. And it did jump around quite a bit today. It might have been one of the biggest jump arounds I've ever seen in my life. I think I'm pretty sure Luis Rodriguez, I forget, I'm trying to think of the tweet that you posted earlier. I retweeted it out, but it was definitely like history, and I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was definitely a historical day for that kind of run around. Opened at 47, came down to 43, and its high was 56, and it closed at 55. So you're talking one hell of a day right there for your SQQQ. And they do look at it, it looks like it wants to get back to that 57, I would say, tomorrow, and maybe even pop right through it like it's not even there. So that is basically short in the market, I would say, and that's what it looks like it wants to do. Same with your SPXS, your bear 3 times on your S&P 500, and this thing looks like it just wants to run up into the top. It was spiking up to hit that thing, and it looks like it wants to run up some more tomorrow. That's exactly what it looks like to me. And here we go, SPXS. I can't even say it. But yeah, look at that thing. Looks like it wants to run up a little bit more. That is for sure right there. And let's see real quick. What the heck? Trump signed an executive order to turbocharge coal mining across the U.S., huh? And what was that other one? AGH. I saw HPIL. What was that one? HPIL. CEO Steve Brown has to one of the I have to see which one that is. I kind of remember the stock ticker. What happened with that? Then they took that off. I forget. You have to remind me. I don't really remember that one. But anyway, I'll come back to them. And your UVXY, this thing is popping up here pretty nice. And honestly, guys, I played this one really nice today. I was like, there's no way this market wants to do this. And you could kind of see what was going to happen. It was going to change around. It was way down here today at like 35. And I was like, yeah, that thing's about to go up, and boom, that thing went way up, guys. I mean, that's a pretty big run up, I'm not going to lie, and I think it's going to keep flying up there tomorrow. So UVXY basically shortened the VIX 2 times. So yeah, this is a 2 time right there ETF, and that's always a pretty one. So that looks like it's jumping up into the top some more, and we will keep an eye on that UVXY. And our yin and our yang, the yin did pull back. It was up this morning, and we thought it would be. It did pull back with everything else. So the China bull came down, and the yang is going to go a lot higher. It looks like they were trying to parachute it a little bit, but I guess when you throw 104% tariff on them, that thing's going to get cruising, guys. And look, it could get up into that $79 area. It's at 69.51, so you could really get cruising there on your yang. And that sounds wild. You could really get cruising there on your yang, but you really could. And that is your yin and your yang. And how about our FNGA and them bad boys? Because they're interesting ones for sure. Look at this thing right here. This is your FANG index 3 times leverage. So this is the one that you want it to go up, and this thing is coming down right here. But your FNG, it is FNG D right there. Now this thing looks like it's about to roll off that line and keep cruising and at least get back to that 27. It's at 23 right there. So that's what they look like. Pretty good ETFs right there. ETN's 3-time leverage. So keep your eye on them. And these guys are a lot of fun during the day, especially when they're doing something like this today. It was a pretty good time today. Today was a great day in the market. And here we go, FNGD. And how about that BRZ, BERZ? And this is the another one of them 3-time inverse ETNs right here, and it was running all around, but look at that. It looks like it wants to run up tomorrow. So if you want to take a look at that one in the morning, take a look at BERZ. We can look at it, but it has that look like it does want to run back up into the 25s, and it's only at 23 right there. So there you go with BERZ, some ETFs, ETN, some leveraged ones, some good ones right there. And let's go ahead. We'll run through our laptop travel list and take a look at our Jolie's jams, and then we'll go through and see what you guys want to see to spy the big caps. And we already discussed that Bitcoin's way down in crypto and the rest of them guys. So let's roll and do it. BATL, let's see what it's up to. Battalion Oil right there. That one looks like it's rolling up, but I have to look at them in the after hours. The morning's a little easier, but look, it was coming down. It grabbed my attention. I looked over and saw it was down, so that's what told me. But yeah, you can just see that they're obviously not running the candles, which is cool. They'll get them fixed, like I said, but it is pulling back, but it ran up really good to that 50 today, and it might have gapped up. It did because it closed at 141. Opened at 150, and now it's at 129. So it did run up pretty good. CNET right here, CNET, and that thing just looked blue right now for some reason, but I always do that. And here we go, CNET. Let's see, since the screen's not blue. And yeah, it was trying to run up 147 to 151. It closed pretty strong and just kind of looks flat. Let's see that thing tomorrow, because it looks like it's hitting that resistance. It wants to go up, but I'm not exactly sure it's ready to. So that's interesting, but I would keep an eye on it. Look at that China one, and it's just got an interesting look right there. I'll have to keep an eye on CNET right there. And DSY, Big Tree Cloud Holdings. And this is one of them China small caps. I remember we've looked at this recently, DSY. And let's see, that one does look pretty good. You might get a little run up right there, but definitely setting back up to try to run, it looks like. Look at it trying to squeeze up. So DSY, keep an eye on that one. And EONR. This one's up. Ooh, this one looks pretty good, guys. Look at that trying to roll up right there. Looking pretty solid. Look good in the after hours over there. EONR, I would say keep an eye on that because that could run up from 53 to 59, and that could be one of them early morning ones. But it does look like it wants to go. And how about Fate right here, FATE? And that tried to jump up into a good spot. It's just ran up a little bit and pulled back, FATE. And yeah, we'll have to see what that fate is tomorrow. But their fate might be just stay in this channel is what it would have to hope for. So we'll have to look at Fate Therapeutics, but it is in a really good spot right there. So that's one I would definitely want to keep an eye on right there. And here's FIBO. Isn't that one we were talking about, that FEMBO? No, it was a different one. But look at this thing getting set up. This thing looks really good too. FEBO. Look at that. Oh, it did look good. Did it say it dipped? No, it doesn't even say it pulled back, but it looks like it pulled back there to 94. Look at that thing. 1.6. Is that the same day? They don't look like they're the same world. Let along the same day. April 8th and April 8th. Yeah, I'd say they don't even look close to each other. But anyway, we'll take it through this, and it's down. I'd have to look at it, but that looks like it pulled way back right there. So I'd have to look at that one. They're like way different, obviously. And FRGE, let's see. Forge Global Holdings right here. This is a market capital one, and not looking bad right there. Let's take a look at it. It was down just a hair, but ran up, it looks like, and it does look pretty good on that 20 right there. Yeah, not too bad. We'll look at it. It did pull back to that 59, but stayed in that channel. That one could be decent there tomorrow. And again, this market could get crushed tomorrow. So it's I'm just telling you what they look like right now. And some of these, obviously, these small caps do like to run. So that's why we like to look at them, especially in times like these. They are really ones that pop up. And GURE was looking kind of strange, and it did pull back a little bit, but it does look like it's coming down, so we'd have to look at that Gulf Resources. And let me take a look at IMG. That one, I remember CIMG, it ran the other day. It looks like it's pulling back just in that channel right there. Nothing too crazy, so yeah, I would say that's just in that channel. And let's see, LXRX Lexicon. And that thing's just kind of running around that channel right there. What is it? LXRX. There you go. And look at it, 51 to 58, and it's at 51, right under 52. Has that open and close look, but flat too. I'd have to look at that in the morning. LXRX MMA, that was looking pretty good yesterday, up 3 cents right there. And take a look at this thing. It's trying to get rolled off and trying to move and fight its way up there. So keep an eye on. It looks like it might have dipped in the after hours. It doesn't really say it. It's at 84. Here it's at 78. And looks completely different. It looked way better yesterday, I know that, but it looks like it was hitting up. I'd have to look at this. They don't even look the same either, and I'm not sure what's going on there. And that's MMA. And let me take a look at PTIX right here. Whoop, here it is. Protogenic Therapeutics, and that thing was run up there the other day. I remember we looked at that as it was running up, PTIX. And yeah, I remember these guys. And that is pulling back. We'll have to see if it does want to roll back off the MACD. And RDGT is Ridge Tech. That actually looks like it's trying to get it set up from here, but it says it's down over there. I just noticed. Hold on. What the heck is it? RDGT. Not too bad. It's at, 99 to 106, and it's at 103. That says it pulled back 5 cents. I don't know. Everything's all weird right now, so I have no idea. SQFT, Preciado property trust or something like that. This thing trying to fly up, but not sure it's going to have it in it, to be honest. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's hitting that MACD and coming down right there. TRSG, let's see that one. Tungray Technologies. That does look like it's trying to roll off. It was up today. TN or TRSG. And yeah, look at that thing. I would take a look at that 144 to 173. It's at 167. So that one actually looks pretty good right there, especially in this crazy market. And VRCA, that one looks like it ran up already. VRCA, there we go. And yeah, it looks like it tried to run up and it might be pulling back. We'll have to see if it stays in that channel, but it did run up. And VSA is down a penny. That one looks like it's trying to set up and roll back off. Oh, that's that TCTM Kid one. That's that China one. And they changed their name. And let's see, it does look like it's going to try to roll off right there, and it's setting up. So we might have to definitely keep an eye on that VSA. They're trying to fake us out with a name change right there. And it used to be like TCT something. I forget what it was. We were talking about yesterday, I think. And Works right here, but with a X, not a K. WORX. SC Works Corp. And that's curling up right there. It was up 5 cents. WORX. If I could type it in, that would be cool. Oh, well, it did run 74 to 148. Did it even say anything like that right there? No, it's not even close. Oh, it says at 130. I didn't even notice it ran up that much, but it ran up to 148, and it is at 130. They were right, and it's looking pretty good up there. So there you go with WORX right there, and our laptop travel list looking good. That TRSG, even that Works right there, could keep a little momentum in the morning, I would say. And we have to keep an eye on that VSA. And we'll keep an eye on DSY, CNET, and Fate and see what that Fate is. And the rest of that crew. And let's look at our Jolie's Jams real quick. A couple of these. Agrify actually was looking pretty good today. We'll have to see if it can really roll up after tomorrow with the tariffs. But look at it jumping up here. It'll have to get up to this 1853 or at 1824, and that is the high. So keep an eye on Agrify. It could get moving, guys. We'll have to look at it and definitely see, but it's one to keep on the list for tomorrow. And Blink right here, not BlackRock, but we'll look at it. Remember this thing was like over $1,000 up here? I do remember that. You're all the way down here at 815. This could be a decent one. They're having earnings coming up on the 11th, which are coming up on Friday. Good old BlackRock earnings, and that thing looks like it's coming down some more. So that's what it looks like. But anyway, I don't think Blink charging is anywhere as close to BlackRock. Oh yeah, a little bit of a difference. This one's only at 75 cents, and BlackRock's only at $800. So a tiny difference in the companies, but nothing crazy. But anyway, Blink charging, here we go. Engineering construction, and it is at that bottom. We'll have to see. It might even come through that support line and come down some more. Blink doesn't look like it's doing so well. And good old Sezzle right here, down 14 cents. This recently split, and it looks like it's coming down. So yeah, this thing's got a good setup period up there. So that may come down some more as they all pull back, obviously. And Sterling was run up today. I did notice that, but that might not curl through, guys. It bounced off, and it was trying to get up there, and I doubt it wants to, but you never know. This is an American construction and engineering company. We'll look at it. I don't think it wants to get through just because we know the pattern, but we just never know with something like this. So it is STRL Sterling, and we will take a look at it tomorrow. It could have a possibility. Rivian was pulling back. I don't think they have a possibility. And Symbotic right here was also pulling back, and I think that's going to be dipping down as well. And there's your Joey's Jams right there. Let me see what you guys want to look at, and then we'll go through our big caps and Mag 7 and all them guys right there, and then we'll see what's happening on the rest of the market. So here we go. Let's see what's happening. LGCB, what's that? Stocking up for future. LGCB. Oh, that's at Linkage Global, and they just had a reverse split. I do remember that. It ran up after reverse split. A little bit of healthy pullback right there is what it looks like. LGCB. Not looking too bad in that channel. Did run up to that 50 today. It's definitely one we could look at tomorrow, see if it is that healthy pullback and wants to run up a little higher. LGCB is what it's going to be. Linkage Global. A Japan one off a reverse split. And again, sometimes you just got to play the trends and what's hot. TBH Bragg House Holdings. What's that? Electronic Gaming and Multimedia. And that started up at the top recently. And it's way down in the basement. It is up a little bit in the after hours. TBH, let's see. Is this anything to do with Tom Brady? TBH right there. He's always TB12. And this is Bragg House Holdings, so that'd be interesting. But anyway, that'd be funny if it says TBH. Bragg House Holdings. Let's see. I have no idea what they do. It doesn't matter. It's way down there. It's still in the basement. It's not showing me it exactly wants to curl up, but it's so new that I'd have to just look at it. Why it's kind of in action right there for that one. And I'm not saying it's not good. I just have to get a better look. How about this SGN Signing Day Sports? Someone used to like this one a lot. I remember it popped up pretty good, and they had reverse split. Yeah, back here I do remember, and it bounced up really well right there. And this is SGN Signing Day Sports right here. And let's see. It was running around today, 71 to 82, back to 76. See if it can stay up over that 77 area. And it does have a shot tomorrow. It's not looking too bad, I must say. It was up in the after hours right there. So, yeah, I think that SGN could have a possibility of running up some more tomorrow. Keep an eye on that. And let's look at the Antelope, right? Well, I don't even know what the heck I just typed in. Holy cow, what am I doing? EHL. There we go, Antelope. And it was down 40 cents. It wasn't looking bad off of that reverse split. Obviously ran up, pulled back, and let's see what it's looking like. I forget, actually, yesterday. I know we looked at it. I think we looked at two of them, and the other one looked better than the Antelope. If I remember correctly, I can't even see that, but yeah, there's Antelope, and it was just kind of running around flattish. Let's see right here, trying to curl up. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Just the fact of the matter is that we just know that pattern. So we'll have to see. But look at it, trying to curl up, did reverse split and ran up. I would assume it's going to try to bounce down right there. And only because it might be a really red day and we know that pattern. So that's why I say that. And we got to them guys right there. And let's see what's going on right here. AGH, we did take a look at that bad boy. It wasn't looking bad. That's AHG. Hold on. AGH right here. And yeah, that doesn't look bad for a momentum play. It was up in the after hours, obviously, right there. AGH, and it did spike up 55 to 136, but it's at 82, so I would look at it early in the morning. It could be spiking up some more right there. And FATN was already pulling back. It ran up, I know that. Fat Pipe, I couldn't remember the name. Brand spanking new. But it did run up today, and then it pulled back in the after hours. I did see this one. Is there any new IPOs tomorrow? I didn't even look, to be honest with you. But if anyone wants to check that out, we can take a look at them. 650 to 2327 right there for good old Fat Pipe. I don't know what they were putting in that Fat Pipe and smoking, but it definitely went. It ran up there this morning. What's it going to do tomorrow? Who the heck knows? I mean, that's just a coin flip look to me. I don't even know about that, so I have no idea, Luis Rodriguez. But yeah, that is a brand new one that did run this morning. That is for sure. So we'll look at it and see. And that NAOV ran pretty high up today. And we were looking at this the other day, and I know it ran pretty big and over 100%. NAOV. And there you go. 294 to 1625, and it's at 604 right there. Is it going to run up tomorrow? Well, the fact is it's hitting that top, so it has to get into the top and be a momentum play in the morning, and it was kind of pulling back there, so not exactly sure, but that one was definitely running up. And Vero, let's see what that's up to right here. VERO, Venus Concept. And that doesn't look bad, Luis Rodriguez. You're right. Oh, wow. Look at that. That big pop up there. I would say it looks much better than it does on this chart. There you go, Vero. That's what it's supposed to look like. 258 to 809, 698. And I think you might want to write that down for a little momentum play, VERO, and see if it can keep that momentum early in the morning, because it sure as heck can. It was at what? 698. That's got to be up around. Yeah, way up there. That's like off the chart. It's up here. It's still going. Yeah, it's like 698, like right in that area right there. So that's where you're at, all the way up there. So boom, that's a pretty good run up right there, I would say, and could keep that momentum. It did blast through everything, and AGH we did, and missed the first part of the show. Sam Bellatini, how are you this evening? And DXF, yeah, that thing's gonna be a monster. How did it close? Oh, we already looked at it after it closed, and looking real good for tomorrow, I must say, DXF. So keep an eye on it. Obviously, look for any pullback, or we'll see what it's doing early at 7 a.m. We'll definitely look at that one, DXF, and it should be trying to run, I would assume, in the morning. So look for that one early on. And let me see what else we have going on over here. PFAI, that's that might be one tomorrow. PFAI. I don't see that there. Not saying they don't always list them all, just not showing it. So yeah, we'll have to look up and see if we have any. And but yeah, if anyone else knows, but I'm not saying that's not one. Sometimes they don't even list them right away. So it could very well be. And let me see what you got going on here, guys. Laptop Travel said Tesla's up a little bit, but then Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Nvidia, and Meta are all down. So that's what he said in overnight trading. I just reposted it for you guys, so you can take a look at it. And the leaderboard, I'll definitely repost that as well for you guys. BTU, Peabody, and then there's a lot of the ETFs on here, but I'm just curious what Peabody is. Peabody Energy curling up right there, not looking real bad, I would say. BTU. So keep an eye on that. Possibly you could have a little momentum play right there. I don't know if it'll cross through. It's at $13, so we'll keep an eye on that in the morning. And your UVIX and your UVXY they're both up right there. That's good to see. And like I said, let these bad boys go down, or these bad boys go up, but the rest of the market come down. And yeah, there you go. So beautiful's right there. And the UVXY, we already looked at that one, and I told you I was jumped in that earlier. I wanted to pop up as high as it possibly can. And so there you go. And then you guys can look at the rest of that list, because there's a bunch on there. And yeah, there's a lot of the good ETFs and stuff to look at. So definitely take a look at that list for sure. And Trump signs executive order to turbocharge the coal mining across the USA. Or the U.S. So we'll see executive order Tuesday to boost coal mining and double electricity production. So that could be pretty big right there. I'll tweet that out. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And what did Apple do is recently imported several plane loads of iPhones into the United States from India and China, reportedly to avoid impending U.S. tariffs. Concurrently, President Trump and the White House press secretary have expressed belief in the U.S. capability for something. To manufacture iPhones domestically. And so there you go. And the stance has sparked the discussions on the feasibility and cost implications of producing iPhones in the U.S., with the estimates suggesting that it could cost between $30,000 to $100,000 per unit. So that would be insane. Could you imagine paying $30,000 for an iPhone? I mean, like $1,500 and $1,800 is too much. $30,000 to $100,000 might be a little out of people's price ranges. I know that. And I ain't buying one for that much, I can tell you that right now. So that would be insane. I don't think anybody would get an iPhone anytime soon. And AGH had it on the laptop travel list on March 24th right there. So there you go with that one. And let's see. Boom right there. And let me take a look and just see what else is going on here. Anything else we have happening? So yeah, that was there. And oh, there's some coal mining stocks. I'll tweet it out. We'll look at them. And let me just see if I missed anything else down here. Barber had a few. Let me take a look at them real quick. We'll come back to the coal mining ones. Let me see. XHLD. I know that was running today. As a matter of fact, it was up 6 cents, 2 in the after hours. Not looking too bad right there, but not sure if it's really going to run again tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, it could roll up. We have to get back over that 20 right there. So keep an eye, but it did have a nice little spike up there today. And TNFA, let's see that one. That's a nice dip down there, huh? Let's take a look. TNFA. Yeah, I'd say that's a good dip. We'll see. It could easily roll off that MACD because it wants to bounce off that bottom and possibly get set up. TNFA. Let me take a look at that one tomorrow. And has it hit the bottom? It very well could have. It looks like it very well could have there. So let's look at that in the morning. TNFA. Not looking bad, I would say. And let's see, did I miss anything else down here? Just, I think, the Luis Rodriguez one. So let's go back up to them and find them guys real quick. Hold on, let me see. ARLP, let's look at it. ARLP. Alliance Resource Alliance Resource Partners. You guys know I can't read, so anyway, $1.20 it's up and not looking bad. Let's look. ARLP. And yeah, it's not looking too bad there. It's closed at 226.10 in the channel and looks like it's trying to cross through. And with that news, I could see it happening right there. So it might be one to take a look at. BTU, is it there? There's that Peabody one that was just trying. What do we just see that at? Didn't we just look at this thing somewhere? Peabody. And oh yeah, it was on Laptop Travels list. It was trending or something. As it was up $1.69 right there. Good old Peabody. And yeah, there you go. So there's another one, energy, but that's a coal one. So you know these things are going to be looking pretty good. ARCH, is that what that is? Or is it? It's not that one. I know. I don't think so. Yeah, that one's in aerospace and defense. What is ARCH? Is that one right? I think that could be something different, but let me know. CEIX. I don't see that either. Huh. CEIX. Did that change? That's definitely CNR. It might have just changed or something. Who the heck knows? Yeah, it did. It just changed to CNR right there. So there you go. Core Natural Resources, CNR. Like my boys Cavino and Rich, they have their own stock ticker now. Look at that. Pretty cool. They're thermal core guys, huh? No, it's up $4 right there, but that is pretty funny. CNR, and it did run up. Look at it, and we'll see if it can curl up some more right there. So AMR, let's look at AMR right here and see what that's up to. Alpha Metallurgical Resources, is that how you say that? That's a crazy name. What are they doing? Coking coal? Is that what that says? Coking coal. COKING coal. What does that even mean? Coking coal. Has anyone ever heard of coking coal before? That sounds pretty wild, guys. There's some other ones in the coking coal business. We got to look at these things. What the hell are they doing? Coking coal. I don't think that sounds like it could be healthy for you. But we got to see these things. Let's see what the coking coal business is up to. I've never heard of coking coal in my life, guys. That sounds so crazy. But let's look at these things. Just popping up. I don't know if it's exactly going to get out of the basement right there. We'll look at these coking coals real quick. AREC. Weren't we looking at this? American Resources? We were just looking at this thing. And it's just in that channel pulling back a little bit. So their coking coal ain't really hopping right just yet. Their coking coal industry or side business. Let's see. This one definitely ran up right there. Coking coal today. And then I think it's going to be kind of pulling back is what it looks like. HCC and METC. they're definitely coking coal, and that was hopping up. But again, I don't think these things are exactly getting through anywhere. And SunCoke Energy, holy cow, they're really getting wild with their name right here, SunCoke Energy. And these people just run around doing lines and coking coal all day. And then I don't know what this is up to. Like, what is going on? SXC, and what the hell do these companies even do? I have no idea. Obviously, it's energy and coal, but what the heck does that even mean? And anyway, I have no idea. I've never heard that term before. And here we go. It's just bouncing up a little bit, and it is coking some coal right there. SXC, but I don't think they look that crazy. We have to see if they kind of get rolling through. But anyway, that's our coking coal ones right there, guys, and we'll have to see what's up with them and what an industry that is. I've never heard of that before in my life, but there you go. AMR was part of that gang right there. And that's that. So NC, let's see what else we have going on here. Any thermal coal. And that, I mean, they all kind of have that look. We'll see tomorrow because they all have a crazy look like they knew something was going on. So maybe they will be popping up tomorrow. NRP. Let's see, natural resources. And that one took a big old dip down there. Maybe that will bounce. It does say it bounced up right there in the after hours. Not too bad. And HC right here, I don't see that one. Let me see. Is it this one? Yeah, they're coking coal too. HCC right here. Did we even see this one? I don't even remember this, but kind of that same look. And it was up today and kind of pulling back. So there you go. And yeah, we must have looked at it because we looked at all 5 of them. I don't even remember. We looked at it 3 seconds ago. I don't even remember seeing it. Anyway, HCC, and there are your coking coal ones and some other coal guys. And how about that JZXN? That's a China dealership one that we always look at, and that was popping up there today. You can keep an eye on that. Maybe it runs up a little more tomorrow right there. And let's see what else. That was them. And I think we got everything over there. Let me make sure we have everything over here, and we'll still continue. And coking coal is used to make steel. Look at that. I knew there was going to be an answer somewhere. So there you go. They're coking coal and making steel, and they're not making Coca-Cola. They're making they're coking coal, and I would think it would be like cooking coal or something like that, but they definitely call it coking coal, or what the hell? Let's look. What was it? I forget. Not even looking at the list. I forget what they were. What was that one that we were just looking? AMR. Yeah, definitely coking coal. So yeah, I guess they make steel or something with that. I have no idea. Interesting term right there. Never heard of it. TM. Let's see what that's up to. Transcendental meditation. Toyota Motors, they need some meditation because they're about to go further down in the basement, it looks like. Holy cow. That's what it looks like at the moment. 159, yeah, it doesn't look too healthy at the moment, we'll say. And remember, that thing had just popped up into the, like, almost the 190s there. It might have, yeah, 193. Yeah, it's way down there right there. And here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at our SPY big cap, see what them guys are up to, and then let me know if we miss anything and you guys want to see it. We already spoke about our crypto, and Bitcoin's down to 76,000 right now. So you're getting some great pullback right here with everything. And it does look like our market's going to be down tomorrow. That's for sure. Let's see what's up. Look at it pulling back. It was up today. It ran up. It opened at 521. It ran up to 524. It came down to 489. It's at 496, 490 right now. And I do think it's coming down some more in the morning, especially when you just named 104% tariffs on China right there. So, yeah, we'll have to definitely keep an eye on that and see how much it wants to come down. And maybe it does another one of them big dips tomorrow and then wants to run back up. So we will absolutely take a look at the SPY. We'll know what it's up to 7 a.m. for pre-market, and during the day I'll keep you guys posted. I probably should have told you it was going to be pulling back there because you could just see it. It was like, well, it ran up. It was nice and green like we thought, but who knew that was going to last? I mean, you just know these things aren't going to last. You're going to be jumping around almost every single day, guys. So You have to expect it at any moment, and that's what we were talking about last night, just at a light switch like that. So you got to be paying attention to everything. And here is Apple right here. Look at that big dip. Apple took a crushing today, and obviously the building $100,000 iPhone. I'm not saying that said it, but what Laptop Travel was saying. Apple exported more than 17 billion of iPhones from India last year. That's a lot of them, huh? And yeah, them tariffs are gonna crush Apple, and that's why I guess they're trying to build their headquarter or their manufacturing in the U.S., like you was saying. But that's a big dip there for Apple, and that could be a great opportunity real soon. That's for sure. How about good old Amazon? That did pull back and looks like it was trying to run up there. Obviously, they all were this morning, but it was trying to get cruising. Has a pretty good bottom down there. Probably see it come down and then try to run back up. So that's what Amazon's looking like, and they all kind of look the same. You'll see almost every chart looks very similar. Google looks like it might run right into that basement and get shorted down some more. So Google looks like it's coming down. They all look like they're coming down. Meta looks like it's coming down some more too. It's at 490 something. Remember this thing was at 600, guys? And we even caught it from like 5, or was it 7? We saw it at 6 and ran it to 750, 740 something. And now you're at 510 and you're coming down. They have earnings coming up on the end of the month, and yeah, that thing's coming down some more right there. So that will be your Meta coming down some more, and Microsoft is coming down some more too. Look at it just dipping down there. And how about Nvidia taking a nice little dip down? Although Nvidia, look at it trying to get set up right there. So we'll see how much Nvidia actually comes down and see if it actually comes into the basement right there. I know I was looking at it earlier saying I'd say out of all of them, Nvidia and maybe Tesla might look the best. But yeah, Nvidia has that support down there, not too bad. And Tesla, what do we remember what we were talking about last night when we said it was coming down here? We're going to be real close tomorrow, I bet, huh? So there you go, a Tesla coming down, and I bet we see it underneath that around that 200 range, and that's where you're going to be really looking at it right there. And I know people were excited to catch that bottom right there, and apparently it was at like 211, I think, that day. I remember we were talking about it because it didn't say it on my chart, but it said somebody. I remember saying it was 211 down there, wherever the heck it was. I forget where the heck it was. Anyway, and but yeah, that's it was probably right there. And well, yeah, I think we're coming down, and we're going to see a nice dip down on Tesla, and it's going to be a great opportunity right there. So keep your eye on the Mag 7 coming down. And how about AMC? It was trying to run up a little bit this morning. That's coming down now. GameStop isn't standing a chance after all that talk, and they're like, uh-oh, we're getting screwed. And bad time to buy crypto, huh, GameStop, when it's about to come crushing down. So hope they didn't make their purchase yet, and they were being patient. They would have definitely benefit because they could catch a huge bottom with all that money they raised and get crazy with it. So that's what we should all do. We should just throw our money together, buy a bunch of crypto at the bottom, and just ride it up real quick and make a fortune, because you know it's going to happen. It's going to go from all these bottoms right to the all-time highs. It's going to be wild, and you know I'll be loading up some more on the ETF 500. I'm telling you, that coin's going to get nuts, guys. So just take my word. And GameStop right here, that one, like I said, is going down. How about Chewy? Was actually looking good, and now it's coming back down. So Chewy has something going on. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. And now it's dipping, just like Unity wasn't looking too bad, but that's also pulling back now, just like the rest of the market. And let's look at Netflix, because that was up today and came down in the after hours, and I don't know how it stayed up, but it somehow said it was up. And I was looking at it today, and it was just running around. What did it open at? 877. It got up to 922. That's why it did jump up pretty well. And then obviously did do some good pullback right there, and it is coming down. So Netflix coming down, but it wasn't looking so bad earlier. And how about that AVGO and your semiconductors? Here you go. What did it open at? 167. It's at like 152. I don't know. It says it was up. I don't think it was up. I think they were all pulled back kind of, but it closed yesterday at 159. It opened at 159. It's at 152. I don't know how that would be up, but anyway, maybe I'm not a mathematician, but that just doesn't make sense. Who cares? AVGO does look like it's pulling back, just like MU. All of them look at MU. MU looks like it's really pulling back right there. And how about TSM? That looks like it's coming down pretty good too. And SMCI, you might as well add that to the list because it's coming down as well. And AMD wants to come down some more into the basement. How about good old QCOM coming down to the basement, everybody? It's in there and it's coming down some more. And how about Intel is about to enter the basement right there. And PayPal right here, that's about to get, or that one's staying in the basement and about to dip down some more is what I was going to say. You could see it. It was trying to get up there, but no dice for you, PayPal. And Snow's coming down in the after hours. Look, that thing rolled up and ran up pretty well. Let's look at Snow right here. That thing was trying to move, but I don't think that's going to get a chance. So could be a good one because it did run up right there. It's already pulling back, and it will probably be coming down tomorrow. We'll look at Snow in the morning. And how about Dell? That one was pulling back, and Dell, I think, is going to get beat down right there as well. And good old PLTR, Palantir, was trying to cruise up today, hit that resistance, and now you're going to see it come back into the 70s and probably dip down a little bit more. And how about good old Sophie right here, pulling back and pulling back good, probably getting into the basement. Mara didn't stand a chance. Look at this thing coming down. It crossed through. Riot was the only one looking great, and they got destroyed, and that's coming down. And again, your Bitcoin's at like 76,000. It might even come down to 75 right now. I have to see this. Hold on. Oh, I'll look at it in a minute before I lose my train of thought. And MicroStrategy down $30, and that's coming down. And I don't think that stands a chance either. And he might even blast right through that 219, keep coming down. So Sayer's not looking good at the moment. Neither is anything else. CLSK coming down some more. And how about Coinbase and Robinhood? They were both coming down a little bit. Coinbase not looking so bad. Robinhood's probably coming down to that next level right there. And Coinbase, maybe it'll stay in that top, out of the basement. We'll see. It's struggling to, and we'll take a look at it. DJT not down that much. Amazing, isn't it? I have no idea how. It's sitting at 1616, and it's trying to keep itself out of the basement right there. So pretty fascinating look, I'm not gonna lie. And PHUN, this one is just kind of hanging out as well. Has a lot of ties to Trump, hitting the bottom and just going flat. So not sure how that's happening, but it is. And Mountain right here, MTN. Look at that pullback. That's going to be a huge dipper. It already is, but that's a huge dipper. And MCD, let's see what good old McDonald's is doing. It was moving up this morning, and now it's going to come right through that resistance and get crushed down, it looks like, unless it can bounce off there tomorrow in a brutal day. I doubt it. And how about Boeing? If I go back to it real quick, it says it was up, but that looks like it was hitting that basement. I don't think it's getting up there and going to get cruising. They have their earnings coming up in a few days, next week at some point. The 23rd, no, that's in 2 weeks actually, and 2 Wednesdays from now. So that's Boeing. We'll keep an eye on it, and we just have to keep an eye on the whole market. Space coming down, we know that thing's a disaster. IBM was coming down good, and I think that could come down really well, so keep an eye on that. And how about Disney coming down some more, and it's way in the basement. Oxy coming down today, and even these ones can't do good. ExxonMobil coming down, and even that DXYZ. So there you go. All of them coming back, all of them going down, and they are pulling back some more. And it's perfectly fine because we love it, honestly. And that Toyota motor is at 165 on TOS. So And there you go. It says it is up right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what it's up to in the morning. It would be interesting if that's rolling right there, Toyota Motor. So we'll have to see about that tomorrow. Hey, there's our blue screen. And just curious what it say over here, 159. So yeah, we'll have to look at that in the morning right there. And remind me, I'll look at that in the morning, Luis Rodriguez. What else do we have? I guess just go through the scanner and stuff like that, see what's going on real quick. So yeah, that's that. We know what ETFs, all that good stuff. Market should be coming down. We'll look for a bottom at some point and a bounce tomorrow, but it will be coming down. Should be bright red in the morning. That's what it should look like. And let's see, SOXL, that's your semiconductor bull, and it looks like it's pulling back. Yeah, look at that thing pulling back right there. Jesus, man, that thing's way down there. So these things are just getting beat down. SUNE right there. That BTOG and DMN. Lucid right there. LCID. Look at that Onco. What's that up to? Pulling back in the basement. And there's our logic mark. We'll see if it can get moving tomorrow in a crazy market. There's your SPY pulling back. CYCU, we were looking at it. And Foxo, this hasn't looked too bad right here. It was running up like 2 cents today. Yeah, right there. And keep an eye on this. I'm not exactly sure if it'll totally run tomorrow, but it might run around early in the morning. So keep an eye on that. SPXS, and Apple and the MicroStrategy. The long right here coming down, that's for sure. And how about that beauty Mullen right there? QQQ and Amazon and all this good stuff that we've looked at. Let me see if anything grabs my attention. I don't see anything. That GTI, like I said, did grab my attention earlier. Didn't look too bad. We went over it. And let me take a look over here, see if anything's happening on some volume side. And just plenty of spots to look. I just kind of glance at these 2 spots real quick just to start. That's just the start of my scanner usually. And look at this bad boy, GPRF. That's a Goldman Sachs something ETF. Looks like it's trying to bounce up. I'm not sure it will. And that SXTP we already looked at. FGI is nothing right there. Let's see, what is let's see, there's that Vero right there. And then laptop travel, someone mentioned this thing, and it is trying to run up right there, not looking too bad. And let's see what else I see. There's IXHL we looked at, GLXG. And let's see if anything else grabs our attention real quick. That's a fairly new one. Boom, boom, let me see. I don't see anything too crazy, to be honest with you. They all have that same kind of pullback look, to be honest with you. So CYCU, that one would grab my attention. We already went over it. So yeah, I don't think there's anything besides what we've already looked at, I'll tell you that. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty good market review right there. And tomorrow we'll know what's going on. We'll be on at 7 a.m. as always for our pre-market show. Go over our laptop lowdowns, our Jolie's jumpers. We'll check out crypto, see how much more it pulled back. That's for sure. And then we'll look and see what our SPY and big caps want to do besides pull back. Oil slides nearly 4% as U.S. kicks off 104% tariffs on China. S&P 500's rebound bid collapses and biggest U-turn since at least 1978. Investors can't shake the tariff jitters, and U.S. stock futures drop with Trump's massive tariffs set to go into effect. Asian stocks drop as Trump's tariffs deadline nears, and stock futures fall as tariff fears calls 4-day S&P 500 rout. And there you go. I would say we're actually excited about it. Let it pull back. We're good to go. And it can pull back as far as it really wants to. I don't really mind. And let's see if anything's happening that we didn't see. That DXF, we're keeping an eye on that in the morning. And yeah, that's about it, I would say. What's this one right here? Let me take a look and see what this is. Oh, that's that Peabody. We already looked at it like 3 times. I just keep going back to it. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty good market review. I think I got to everything. Let me just make sure right here I did. And I think we did get to everything. I would say so. I would believe so. And if I didn't, just let me know if you want me to see anything in the morning for sure. I'll take a look at it. We'll be on at 7 a.m. for our pre-market show. And like I told you, I already told you what we'll be going over. And we'll find out what's going to be popping tomorrow. So go ahead, tune in. If you're not following along, follow along on X and YouTube and all that good stuff. And then we do our shows every night at 9 p.m., every morning at 7 a.m. We cover the market like no other show, I promise you. It's a group effort. It's a great community here. We have a good time. I try to make it as entertaining as I can. We're going through a ton of stock charts. Sometimes we do go through like over 150 of them, and we do nail down exactly what's kind of moving. Not kind of, we nail down exactly what's moving, and we know exactly what the markets are doing, whether it's crypto or anything else. So we have a really, really good grip on everything going on, and we just go through each day and just break it down, because that's how the market works. It changes fast, it runs quick, especially now that it trades all hours, 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., and it's all kinds of crazy all the time. So you really have to be up on it, especially these small caps and even the big caps. Look at these things dipping around and the trends that go on with the Hong Kong ones and the this and the that. We just constantly tear through everything, guys, so that we don't miss a beat. And again, I don't do it single-handedly. You guys send in a lot of all the great tickers. I just go through and check them out and tell you what I see and what looks good and what doesn't. And it's a great time doing it, hanging out with you guys. So I greatly appreciate everybody always tuning in, hanging out every night, every morning. And thank you very much. And yeah, just everybody enjoy the evening. Have a good night. We got to wrap up a little bit earlier than usual, and it's all good. So, yeah, there you go. And I don't see anything else. Anyone else has any questions right there? So I would say that's a really good review for tomorrow morning. We know exactly what's going to be going on. We'll pick up at 7 a.m. and we'll just carry right on and go through the market. It should be pretty red, but we'll look for that bottom impossible bounce. You know how that works, and this market's been a little wild. So there you go, everyone. Enjoy your evening, and I will catch you guys at 7 a.m. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the morning.